Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
So I went over to Reddit and I found an interesting article over there. Or somebody wrote a comment over there. The future of flipping. Has anyone else felt this? Whatnot burnout, AI hope, and wondering where this is all headed? I'm not here to rant, just sharing where I'm at after putting on serious time on Whatnot over the last year or so. I came in with the idea of doing true absolute auctions, starting most items at $1 to $2 and letting the room decide what it was worth. Yeah, we gained followers every show, 20 to 30 new ones, had a few loyal regulars, but for the most part it was a revolving door, new buyers every show, not much long-term traction. 5 to 7 shows a month, 60 to 120 items per show, pack everything the next day like we were shipping crystal to royalty, and still somehow it never really added up. Meanwhile, people with influencer reach sell the same stuff for 10 times more just because they had the following. Good for them, no hate. But I'm trying to figure out the future for people like me, sellers without the huge audience. So in February, I stepped back, not because I'm done with Whatnot forever, but because I realized I was smashing my head against the wall expecting a different result. Sometimes you got to stop and ask yourself, what if this just isn't the right tool for me? And now I'm watching AI tools like OpenAI agents, Grok, Gemini, DeepSeek, you name it, and I'm thinking this is where it's going. I'm envisioning a not-so-distant future where I can send 15 picks to an AI agent. It'll create the listing, price it competitively, write the copy, cross-post it to eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, Depop, even field basic questions from buyers, not just for one item, but for a whole bin of inventory. That's the future I'm preparing for. So here's my question. Am I the only one thinking this way? Is anyone else stepping away from Whatnot and waiting on AI to streamline selling? Are you doubling down on live shows, believing it is the future for small resellers? Any of you already using AI to help with listings, copy, cross postings? Is anyone making Whatnot really work without being an influencer? I've seen too many people quietly struggle and wonder if they're doing it wrong. I think this conversation needs to happen. Curious what you think.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I hope Whatnot doesn't fall by the wayside because I have 5 years of records I figured it out to list if I don't buy anything else with records that we have in stock right now. And I figured out for what we make weekly, in 5 years, that would equate to $1 million. So
wow.
I have to hope that records keep going. Like right now, they are a little slow. But it's like anything else. eBay's slow, but then if I get a good collection of stuff that's hot and trending, my sales will spike. And same thing with records. You know, for example, I gave my niece a bunch of rock stuff that I just picked up. You know, her sales were $400. If I give her an average box of stuff, $200. You know, so it all depends. But yes, things are a little slower. And the weird thing is we still have a lot of followers, like 30, 40, 50 in each of the, you know, streams.
Every show.
Yeah,
right.
every show. And then I think James gets at least 50, you know. So I don't think we're losing customers. It's just that time of the year where people are buying less. Instead of buying 3, 4, 5 records, they're going to buy 1 or 2, or they may not buy it all. But I think you have to stick with it. I think hopefully Whatnot is part of the future. You know, I hope everything stays and we can make money on every platform. That's the best thing for everybody. Even eBay, we talk bad about eBay sometimes, but you know, if eBay went away, where am I listing a lot of that New Jersey collection? You know, that's the best place for it. And it stinks that now is not the best time to sell this stuff, but I have it to sell it, so I might as well take advantage if I can.
Well, one comment before you get into AI. The one issue that I had with what the gentleman said over here is basically he's stepping away from Whatnot and waiting on AI to streamline selling. Okay, that's fine, except what are you doing in the meantime?
That's what I mean. Like, when is that going to happen? There's no date for it. So in 3 months, this is going to happen.
Exactly.
No, it could be months or years or never happen. I don't know.
If huge AI rollout is going to revolutionize all of selling on May 1st. Okay, I might step away today. It doesn't work like that. What are you doing for income in the meantime?
Right.
And if you're having any success on Whatnot, you're moving any product on Whatnot or eBay or Amazon or any other site. If you are moving product in the meantime, if you've got inventory, now if you've only got 100 items and you're like, oh, I don't want to put the work into Whatnot, oh, I'm going to wait for AI. Okay, great. But if you have tens of thousands of items, sell what you can while you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you'll be able to pick up more when the revolution happens.
Right. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not an AI guy. I don't know much about it. You know, some people don't think it's the way of the future. Most people think it is. So how is that going to overshadow Whatnot or to take over from Whatnot?
Well, what the gentleman's saying is, I buy this pencil, which just happens to be sitting here.
Wow.
I buy this pencil, I take a picture of it. AI then says this is a number 2 pencil by whoever, made in USA, made by Vram. It could probably do a research and say came out 1978 through 1982 and price it at $6 or whatever it goes for.
Right,
it could check comps. So literally all I do is take this picture and put it into AI. AI lists it.
Wow.
And then I bring the next item and AI just lists it off my picture.
No matter what the platform.
Well,
I mean, they're all going to integrate it at some point.
Yeah, right. But what somebody will do is they will have an AI that you just list to, and then it will push it out to all the platforms and meet all the specifics for the platforms.
I feel like that'll make something like eBay worse with common items, because then people can list quicker, which is great. I would love that. But then more people everyone's listing quicker, and more stuff's flooding the market, especially the common stuff. So, wow, Time Magazine, Ronald Reagan. There could be 100 of them now because it's just so quick to get on,
Right. And that's where the problem is going to be short term. I can sell that Ronald Reagan before you do because you're using the AI and it just says Ronald Reagan, blah, 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 blah. And I sit there and I go through it and I say, oh, it's got the Challenger. And so I list it with the Challenger. Mm-hmm. The problem is AI will then see that mine sold and will then steal my listing. So over time, everybody's listings are going to look the same. So my thought would be you need to find a way to differentiate yourself at some point out of that, or stay away from the common stuff.
Well, that and higher grade stuff then, because they're going to, if there's 100 on there, they're going to buy the higher grade or the no mailing label. So that's the stuff you got to, if you have to pay more, you pay a little more for it. But that's, if it's going to sell, that would sell first and for more money.
Well, the other thought is if enough people are using the AI, or enough people are using AI, not necessarily the same AI, and the AI tends to list the same, I think there will also be a premium from some people. They will search out real listings as opposed to AI listings. So if you have a way that you can differentiate your listing that somebody looking through says, okay, this obviously is not AI, they may buy from you just because of that, because AI, the problem with AI is the old GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. And if it's got poor information out there and everybody's using the same thing, and AI, at least early on, doesn't necessarily know what to weight. So it may sit there and go, 312 pages. Well, that isn't important in this item. There are various things that it is important in, and it's not important in other things. Well, it's just going to be kind of taken and listed the same way on everything. Whereas you can put a human element into it that AI cannot do. And I think that there will be people out there that would want to shop from a human. Hey, I know that this guy listed it. This guy knows what he's talking about. He did it, versus the robot listed it. That's
the same people that want to buy from a brick and mortar and not Macy's online or anything like that. But two things. One, I feel like this is a long time. It's going to take a long time to integrate massive millions of items in databases. I would think it's not going to be a 6-month thing. It could be a year or 2 years. Am I wrong? I mean, I don't know.
Well, no,
they could start it, but
what the AI does
keep growing and learning.
The AI hits the web.
Okay,
is what it does. So if there is a picture of this pencil out there, it will find this picture of it. It'll do a picture match on it, and then it'll say whatever you put down. Now, here's the problem. The other problem is if you put down wrong information, like you put this up on. What's the site with the pictures? I can't think of the site now.
Like TikTok? And you
not TikTok, the other one, the one where you just put all the pictures up. Whatever it is.
I know you're talking about.
You put it up there and you say 1950s pencil, but it's actually a 1970s pencil. Well, AI may not know that it's a 1970s, so it will list it as a 1950s, and it finds your picture, and it's the only one it finds out there. So there's going to be that trial and error.
There's going to be glitches and errors and stuff. There's no doubt. But what about a truly one of one item? It can find that as well. Hypothetically, let's say that collection. I got the Selena Gomez from Wizards of Waverly Place. The 3rd episode, she wore this gown. It's going to find that.
Right. I mean, there's things like that you.
But I'm thinking if you got rare one-offs and one of a kinds and so forth, that's where you really got to jack your price up. Because no one else has it, which you would anyways, but it's something that the AI is not going to find either.
Right. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I would say continue selling as you're selling now as we wait for the revolution to happen, because obviously we all have money needs at this point. And I think waiting on AI, not selling anything if you are a seller, is not the way to go. That being said, it will be very, very interesting to see what happens with AI and see how it changes. It's already changed the card market. It's changing the comic market. So it'll be very, very interesting to see where it ends up going. But as Mr. Magazine said, you sell the rare stuff. There might not be, there's nothing else out there. The AI may be kind of lost on some of that stuff. So do hit the like button if you could. And if you're AI, hit it as well. And we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.